It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this Friday, August the 4th, 2023, coming to you from Bedford County, Central Virginia area. It's a Friday. I'm glad to have a weekend coming. This has been for a week that I've been at home, it's been a busy week for me, literally around the clock kind of week. But anyway, it's been a good week, a really good week. So today's headlines, the main story this morning is NCL takes delivery of the Norwegian Viva. We're also going to look at Carnival's perfect health scores. How about some green tech on two new Havila ships? Don't get to talk about Havila very often. And Ponant to sail the St. Lawrence River during Boreal winter in 2025. Don't get to talk about Ponant very much. And Olympic surfing in Tahiti. And of course, a weather update. And lots more here live at 11 o'clock this morning. All right, today, folks, I hate to tell you this, but this is the national holiday of the year. Forget Christmas, forget New Year's, forget 4th of July. Today, folks, is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Sweet. I had one for breakfast, but that's neither here nor there. All right, if you're listening via the podcast, you're always welcome. You can access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. So, we have a couple things to discuss before we actually get to the news. By the way, folks, if you ever are listening to the podcast, you want to hop over to the video feed, there's always a link to do just that in the description of the podcast. All right, the first thing this morning, we've got to look at Major Hurricane Dora again. It continues to move westward. And here is the map. I had to reload it, so there took me a second there for a technical glitch. You'll notice one of the main things is we got a red X now. And so that's something new and changed from yesterday. All right. First, Hurricane Dora. As of 11 o'clock Hawaii time last night, the center of Dora was located about 1,165 miles west-southwest of the southern tip of Baja California. Dora is moving toward the west about 18 miles an hour, and the general motion is expected to continue during the next several days. Maximum sustained winds have decreased. Notice this, folks, have decreased to 130. Dora is still a Category 4 hurricane. Some weakening is forecast during the next day or so, but Dora is forecast to be near or at major hurricane intensity through much of the weekend. Dora is a small hurricane, still hasn't changed much, 15 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds extend about 45 miles. Pressure is still down at 952. So, it's not going to weaken very fast with those kind of numbers. Now, off the coast of southern Mexico is the second storm. And somebody is going to, they just made a delivery at the front door. I was going to say the doorbell's going to ring, but it didn't. All right, off the coast of southwestern Mexico, showers and thunderstorms Come on, tongue. Showers and thunderstorms. There we go. Continue to show signs of organization in association with a broad area of low pressure located a few hundred miles south of the coast of southwestern Mexico. Environmental conditions appear conducive for further development, and a tropical depression is likely to form as it moves west-northwestward or northwestern, parallel to, but not far off the shore of southwestern Mexico. Interest along the southwestern coast of Mexico should monitor the progress of the system during the next few days. They're talking about formation chance 70% over the next 48 hours, followed by 90% over the next 7 days. This is going to be a hurricane, folks, and it's going to be, chances are, with the conditions very similar to what Dora was in, only this is moving in a little more of a northward direction. It's got a chance of becoming pretty nasty right offshore Mexico. Let's just hope that it stays offshore. I'll be watching that throughout the weekend, and should anything major happen, I will, of course, come on with stories about that. All right, our top story today comes from our friends at Norwegian. Norwegian Cruise Line took delivery of their newest ship, the Norwegian Viva, earlier today at a ceremony in Fincantieri shipyard in Marghera, Italy. Norwegian Viva has the 3-story Viva Speedway and new dining concepts, most notably Indulge Food Hall, an open-air food market featuring 11 unique eateries. Norwegian Viva, with a guest capacity of 3,100, will sail her maiden voyage on August 10th and will sail a series of cruises in the Mediterranean before heading to Miami. The vessel will be christened in Miami on November 28th. However, not all is good news from the Viva. A letter to travel partners and guests booked on board the inaugural sailing of the Viva, the line revealed that Beetlejuice, the musical, is not quite ready for the voyage. While details were few, the letter said that due to some delays in production, the entertainment team will not be stage ready in time for your first sailing. They went on to say that there will be plenty of programming entertainment options on board. The current lineup includes the jukebox musical Icons, described as a concert experience featuring songs from musical legends of Dolly Parton to Lady Gaga, as well as a variety of shows and venues such as Sid Norman's Poorhouse. Norwegian Viva will homeport in San Juan, Puerto Rico for the season of Caribbean cruises starting in December of this year through March of next year. All right. The next story comes from our friends at Carnival. All right, that of course is the Carnival Venezia. Two Carnival ships received perfect health. Oh, that's got sound to it. That wasn't supposed to have sound to it. Anyway, two Carnival ships received perfect health scores in recent week. The Carnival Venezia and Carnival Conquest. Venezia, the latest cruise ship to join Carnival's fleet, was inspected after its very first cruise from a U.S. port. Carnival Cruise Line now has had 5 ships with ace their health inspections in 2023. The 3 previous Carnival ships to score a perfect 100 were the Panorama, the Celebration, and the Sunshine. The surprise health inspections are held twice a year for all cruise ships that sail from a U.S. port. The inspections are done by the CDC's vessel sanitation program and generally take 2 to 5 inspectors. 6 to 8 hours to examine the ship. I was not aware that it took that long. Who knew? All right, I'll be back with a couple more news stories after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. All right, before we get to the next story, folks, if you haven't done so already, please smash that thumbs up button. That helps the channel out a lot. If you haven't subscribed, please take this as my invitation to do so. It doesn't cost anything, helps the channel out a bunch. And again, we're going through a nice growth spurt now. I'd love to keep it going. All right, the next ship, we've got a couple stories here that are from areas which I don't normally get a chance to talk about much. Let's see. Havila Voyages, two new ships, the Havila Polaris and the Havila Pollux, include an array of sustainable technology delivered by Tucson Shipyard on August the 1st. The two new ships feature energy-efficient hull design created to enable the ships to handle varied conditions. The Havila Polaris and Havila Pollux are also equipped with battery pack of 6.1 megawatt hours so they can operate emission-free for up to 4 hours. This will enable the ship to visit UNESCO World Heritage of Grenada silently and emission-free. In addition, the ship's propulsion is based on a combination of the battery packs and LNG supplying the power. The battery pack can be charged while the ships are docked. This helps reduce CO2 emissions by up to 35% and local emissions by 90% compared to ships running on traditional fossil fuel. The ships are also built for emission-free fuel alternatives such as hydrogen and ammonium, while a gradual addition to biogas will further reduce CO2 emissions. So, congratulations to the folks at Havila. Ponant is another cruise line there's just not a lot of news about. Doesn't reach the proportion that I can actually have something to report on. Ponant will offer 4 voyages through Canada's St. Lawrence River during the Boreal winter of January to February 2025. The 13-day expeditions aboard La Commandant Charcot combine adventures such as kayaking, ice fishing, dog sledding, and ski-joring, with visits to indigenous Innu and Mi'kmaq communities and wildlife sightings. Departure dates for the St. Lawrence sailing are January 17th, January 29th, February 10th, and February 22nd. Prices start at $24,000 per person based on that blog you can see. That's maybe just a little expensive for my budget. I don't spend that in 2 years of cruising, but I mean, a lot of people out there have the money to do that and want to go in the middle of the winter through the St. Lawrence. Okay. I prefer warm weather, like where you surf. I like surfing in Tahiti. As the excitement builds for the upcoming Olympic Games in 2024, a unique and picturesque accommodation solution has been unveiled for the surfers participating in the highly anticipated surfing tournament, which will take place in Tahiti. The Wave of Tiwapu, known as for its awesome, inspiring swells and challenging waters, will serve as the stage for these exceptional athletes. To complement this extraordinary setting, surfers from around the world will find their home away from home on the cruise ship Aranui. I'm not sure I pronounced that right. Aranui. I'm not familiar with that ship. Aranui. The Aranui, renowned for its expertise in both cruises and maritime freight transport, will be anchored in the Bay of Boreal, offering surfers easy access to the waves and ensuring their proximity to the competition venue. While the Aranui will act as the designated Olympic village for the surfers and sports delegations, participants will have the option to choose alternative accommodations at their own expense. Initial considerations for a hotel near Tuapu's were explored, but repair timeliness posed a challenge. The cruise ship solution emerged as the most viable option, satisfying the Paris 2024 specifications that require accommodations within 45-minute radius of the competition site. The surfing event, slated to take place from July 27th to the 30th of 2024, will showcase 24 male and female surfers representing 18 to 20 countries. Depending on the swell conditions, the competition window may extend until August the 5th. So, you want to go see some surfing in Tahiti? Near Tahiti? Yeah, I'd love to do that. Seems like somebody needs to have scoot around ambassador on one of those boats. Wheelchair ambassador on one of those boats. Yeah, and I'll cover the surfing competition too. I don't know much about it, but I could learn. I'm easy. All right, that's going to wrap up the news portion of today, folks. Let's go see who's fussing at me in the chat room today on a Friday. Thank goodness it's weekend. Cindy's with us. Hi, Cindy. Steve's here out in Kentucky. The wife and I got our first passports yesterday. Very good. That's awesome. So, my passport came too, which mine's a renewal. But boy, I sure sweated that one out. And yeah, I realized I had 18 days until I leave, or 17 days until I leave. So it wasn't even that close. But boy, I was worried about it. I may have a tendency to worry about things sometimes. Gretchen's with us out in Ohio. Hi, Gretchen. She says, congratulations, Steve. Hot Air Tom's here, says, hi, everyone. It's cold in London already. Guess I'm packing sweaters. 68 there, 84 here. Yeah, I'm still not sure how to pack for Alaska because the last time I talked to Nate, I mean, they were having a heat wave. They're running around in shorts. I'm not sure in another couple of weeks it's going to be all that warm in Alaska, but I'm still, last year it was cold. I was in snow and ice. So, I packed for winter stuff. But if it's, it was yesterday, it was 60. Well, if I got 60-degree days in Alaska, that's pretty mild. Maybe I don't need to pack a winter coat. I can get by with a lined jacket, so it's a lot easier to travel with. Anyway. Cindy says, booked on Viva in February 2025. Can't wait. I would like to do the Viva. I'd like to do one of those. Obviously, with all the things that I've got going on, I've got to be able to catch them on a down pricing, or do a hosted cruise. Now, that would be pretty cool if we could get a hosted cruise on Viva or Prima. I would love to do that. So, Tom says we're booked on Viva November 2025. Transatlantic, Lisbon to San Juan. Very nice itinerary. Yeah, that sounds nice. Cindy says, I love the February 2025 Southern Caribbean itinerary also. Yeah, I like that one as well. I did look at that. Chilliescruises, which Alaskan port did you do the sky ride up the mountain? Juneau, by the way. I'm in the process of checking out tours from Jewel back-to-back June 2024 cruises, Vancouver to Seward and back. Yeah, that's in Juneau, hot air. It's literally in walking distance from where you dock. I mean, literally. I mean, I couldn't walk it, but clearly you could walk it. If Cindy's with you, she's going to roll it. But the tram up the mountain is totally accessible, even to the point that they put the wheelchair or scooter folks on first so they can get, good seating, good for seeing going up the tram. I was on the front going up because I was kind of afraid to be looking back down on how high I was going to remember. That was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. And I was a little nervous about it. Now I might get on the back and be able to see the vista of from Juneau as I go up the mountain. Because going up the mountain on the tram, you don't see a whole lot except going up the side of a mountain, and then you see from the top looking back. So, yeah, but that's Juneau, and I don't remember what it cost me, $25 or something per ticket or something like that. And you can stay up there as long as you want. There's a place to get something to eat, something to drink. They have a theater that has a couple movies. It's well, we're in there's a store, for tourist shopping and stuff. Yeah. Mount Roberts tram is well worth it. One neat thing, we had an itinerary change. On the first cruise, dropped Icy Strait Point, but added Glacier Bay. Seems to me like a good change. That's a plus. Yeah, that's definitely a plus. Anybody have excursions they liked in Grenada? Ooh, we stopped there. We stopped there on a February 24th Jade cruise. I don't remember. It's been a while since I was in Grenada. I don't remember doing an excursion there. I think I was just kind of out and about in the little, I can't remember the name of the town there either. But, because there were, I remember dancing in the street, native dancers in the street. I probably had an adult beverage, but I'm not sure about that. However, Hot Air Tom, that's a perfect place for me to do some research for a post on my website on accessible Grenada, which Cindy might be interested in. If I come up with some good accessible things, I can also come up with that's not accessible at all. But yeah, we'll see about that. Give me a day, Hot Air Tom. I have to pack for all seasons, Gretchen says. Yeah, I know. Nikki's with us. She says, good morning, everybody. Oops, my Viva is November 2024, Cindy. Cindy just corrected me. Only cruises for 2025 are with Chillie. Yeah, that's correct. Nikki says, better late than ever. Cindy says, London sounds awesome. We were supposed to go in 2020, but so it's been a long time coming. I have some interesting feelings. My feelings about London are like most cities in Europe. If you've been there and done the main touristy things, that's fine. Get the hell out of Dodge. Go out in the countryside. Go to little villages and little hamlets and go into some real native pubs outside of London and get the fish and chips that's so much better than you get it, or even in the London pubs. I mean, yeah, you got to do the touristy things, but I'm like that with almost every city in Europe. Don't care for the cities, love outside the cities, half hour outside of town, and man, I'm happy. Almost anywhere. France, the same way. The one exception was I love Barcelona. Barcelona is my favorite, one of my favorite cities in the world. Germany, pretty much the same. Bremen, kind of like Bremen, a lot more than most of the other cities in Germany. Geneva, I mean, the scenery is gorgeous, but you know, I'd rather be, you know, up a mountainside in Zinzheidel than in Geneva. But yeah, Italy, I can't say. I don't have personal experience on Italy yet. That's going to be with Hot Air Tom. Will actually be my first trip to Italy. So we'll do the pubs if you twist my arm. Oh yeah, well I mean, you still get to finally get to see Paris, but only for a day. Yeah, that's a bit of a short time for Paris. But yeah, I mean you can do the Eiffel Tower, you can do Montmartre, and you can do some of the along the river. There's a lot to do in Paris. There's a lot to do in London too. But yeah, I could do a day in Paris, but I can also do several days out of Paris. So that's me. And the pubs, and even the pubs in London, fish and chips are still awesome. Even there. But boy, you get into some of the little burgs, that's really, I mean, just you drool eating it. Cindy says she loves Italy. Good morning, Kenneth. Kenneth's with us up in Pennsylvania. Gretchen loves Italy too. Done that twice. Next year, maybe. 2 more cruises from Italy planned. You will love it, Chillie. Thank you, Cindy. We have a princess excursion in Paris. Lunch on the Seine riverboat. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, Gretchen, I'm expecting lots of pictures from over there. Good, bad, and the ugly. If it's rainy and crappy, send us pictures. If it's gorgeous, send us pictures. I'll use them. I can promise you that. I meant to load up some pictures today. My buddy is in Alaska that we've been following all year. See, I'm not sure she can find cathedrals in some of the places in Alaska. She goes into churches so much. But she's on an Alaska cruise this week. I meant to give some pictures. She had some pictures where she was really close to some bears. So I'll catch up with that. Well, if I do a show over the weekend, maybe, if not on Monday. Anyone who sells on Princess and gets the plus or premium package, if you order a case of water or Pepsi, would that be under the package deal? Ooh. I don't know if it is ordering it a case. I can't actually answer that one, Kenneth. I know the drinks or the water is covered in the package deal at any of the bars or whatever, or the restaurants, but I don't know if you can get it a case at a time. I would say that's a question directly for Princess, or your booking agent might know that, and I probably should know that, and I'd love to have the answer. Gretchen says, oh, you'll get them. Okay. Gretchen says you'll get them. We have the package, but order water for the cabin. It's extra. and I guess you can't order it on the ship. Had to be in advance. Oh, so you'll get them, but you had to pay extra for it. I see. All right, $21 for 2 cases. 21 for 2 cases, $10 a case, $10.50 a case. That's not bad. There's a lot of good food in Paris. Yeah, Poilane Bakery for good bread. Oh yeah, Paris has got good food. Paris has got, ooh. Well, Paris food is better than London food. English food as a general rule. However, I mean, I'm a particular fan of several of the things that our folks in the UK eat as, just regular for them. I mean, especially the fish and chips. I just love fish and chips. I love some of the stews. But yeah, Paris bread that's pretty special. I have to admit that. German beer is special, and I'm not a beer drinker, but I can drink some German beer. Nikki says there's great Indian food in London. Oh, that's interesting. We just had Indian food here a couple nights ago. Amanda's has some friends that are chefs in Indian restaurants, and she's learned quite a bit from them. So that was kind of cool. Spanish food in Spain, the paella is to die for. I mean, it's just wonderful. I found numerous places. When do you board your Alaska cruise, Chillie? The first one is on the 20th. I haven't worked out my schedule for shows because I'm flying, I believe, on the 18th. And I'll leave early in the morning again out of Richmond, like 6 o'clock out of Richmond. So I've got to come up with my travel schedule, which I don't have at this time, on how I'm going to do shows. But then the first cruise I board on the 20th of August, and it's 7 nights, and I get off on the 27th in Anchorage. I spend 3 days in Anchorage, and then sail again on the 30th back to Vancouver and fly home from Vancouver. Hi there, Tom says we board the Pearl. We board the Pearl in 2 weeks. Bermuda, here we come. I get Pellegrino for free on board. Nice. With the package. M says I'll have to watch the beginning later. Going to get my nails done, fingers and toes. Nice. Chillie's Cruises, you can look for our car in the park and co lot at RSC. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Again, I love those people. They take care of getting the chair into the little van thingy. The guy was just, he even brought stuff inside the airport terminal because I was the only one on the bus. So, yeah, I am totally sold on those folks out there, Tom. Tom, are you doing Bermuda in July, August, or September? Like to join you on one of those. My cousin is coming back to our house. She leaves Sunday, and my sister and her husband found a new place. Family party tonight. Oh, very nice. Have you found a job to replace the last one yet? So, and I don't know the answer to that one, Hot Air. So I'll let Emily pass that one along to you. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for the weekend. As always, I'll be watching the weather in case there's any major changes. I'll be watching for any major stories over the weekend. And if nothing happens, I'll see everybody back here on Monday, same time, same channel. Thanks, everybody, for being with me. Especially thanks to you new guys out there. Appreciate you joining in the audience. And as always, folks, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. And hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day and a great weekend, everybody. See you next time.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.